Hello there. I pray you take a minute and listen to this one. I believe God wants to minister to you because it's Mother's Day coming up, and I can only imagine what a whole lot of you are feeling that sting of, wow, I really don't want to be bothered with her. I don't want to listen to this nagging me or making me feel inadequate or not enough or something. But listen, I want you to remember Isaiah 49, 15 and 16, that says, can a woman forget her suckling child, that she should not have compassion on the son of her womb? Yea, they may forget, yet will I not forget thee. Behold, I have graven thee upon the palms of my hands. Thy walls are continually before me. So God is reminding you that though you may have that sting, though you may have that feeling of clenching yourself, knowing that you're hearing everybody talk about how they want to, honor their mother and do these things for their mother, and you doing your very best to even just go over there and pretend that you're happy to see her. And so many have lost their parents and or their mother, and many are grieving right now. But listen, I want you to listen to me. I know you've been to a place probably that this pain and this trauma of the thing that they've done or said to you as a child when you may have been neglected emotionally and just not even paid any attention to. I know where you're coming from on that. But I want you to understand God is saying you will not be forgotten. You are written on the palm of his hands. And I want you to know that these things sometimes happen to parents who may have been in some situation themselves that they don't even understand why they act the way they do. And many of these things did come from the womb. And that's why I'm going to be talking about this subject on Saturday. You can dial in, it's absolutely free. 281-671-4577, 281-671-4577. That's this Saturday at 7 o'clock a.m. Central Time. And this is a very, very necessary subject. Somebody got to say it. We got too many marriages that's going down because of difficulty and intimacy and unresolved anger and all this detachment, and sleeping on the edge of the bed, and you hearing your mother's voice. And a lot of guys today are dealing with a whole lot of these things from the womb from their mothers, just as the women are. But I want you to think about getting this book. I believe I'm going to be talking about much more in depth this Saturday. But one of the books I want to recommend for men and women, particularly you women who run around picking up all these soul ties, and men too, but a lot of y'all is doing what I talk about in this book. I talk about soul hoarding. And I want you all to get this one. It's called E7. So it's attachment 7. And it's giving you these unconscious blood type personalities. A lot of you can get it on Amazon. It's E7 side effects. That's the letter E, number 7, side effects. Listen, I want you to know that this situation that we're going to be talking about, Prophet and myself, wounds from her womb, you got to recognize and deal with these things that are really causing a lot of problems and causing you to even be controlling, causing you to be depressed, and causing you to feel that you're not enough and adequate. When I was very young, I was going through a lot of stuff. And I remember as I was going through my different tantrums and things like that, as I was getting mad about so many things, many of these things are coming from not just what you're being involved in relationships or in that, marriages and things that you maybe had a divorce or whatever, but the inadequacies, the things that you tried to do to not to feel the rejection or feel this grumbling or complaining about something that you saw your mother did. And many of these things went on in the womb. Many of these things that was unresolved in her womb. I'm a living testimony how I cried all the time, and that makes it very sensitive for your child when they're in the womb. These things that we do are already there, and they wound the child before they even come out. The Bible tells us, if you look at Lamentations 5 and 7, it says, our fathers have sinned and are not, and we have borne their iniquities. Many of these things are there. These kids are scarred emotionally. Many of them don't understand why they just so hateful and why they feel like that they want to be abusive to others, and why they just self-reject and hide away and be depressed and and have anxiety. And this is really rapid today. This anxiety. Somebody got to say it. Many of you guys who don't know how to be intimate. Many of you guys who don't know how to be romantic. Many of you guys who are having challenges in your marriages, even now, I'm talking to you. Many of you have decided that you're going to leave your wife or get you another woman on the side because you have this Jezebelic wife or relationship that you can't deal with, or you found this narcissistic man. But listen to me, this came from the womb. It ain't just because you just got hooked up with them, maybe because you got how they say ghost or whatever, but you are constantly dealing with the fear of abandonment. You find yourself being very, very overprotected. You find yourself, struggling with repeating the same patterns and cycles over and over again with the same relationship. You don't know how to set boundaries. You self sabotage yourself, and we don't want to leave out. You have difficulty trusting, but yet you want to still soul hoard and get all these different relationships that are not good for you. I know I'm talking to you. Somebody got to say it. You're abandoning yourself and abandoning your marriage because you're trying to still find something that's just not there. I know I'm talking to you. Listen, bro. Listen, sister. I'm telling you right now, the lack of getting inner healing, the lack of time that you refuse to spend while you run around trying to find these invisible things that can't give you anything. These are what I call invisible Hagar baby syndromes, where you run around, got all these rejections, got all these different things going on with you. And it's all started from the womb. She was rejected, she was abused, she was neglected, and all these things that happened to the mother. And we love our mother. But listen, some of you can't stand your mother. And we got to look at why. So we're going to be talking about that. This dismissive mother who dismiss you, who ignore you, who just make like or compare you, or have this silent game that they play, or make you feel that you're emotionally detached. I want to talk about it Saturday, 7 o'clock a.m. Central Time. I pray that you can be there and join us. I hate that I gotta go, but remember, get that book, seven. That's called E7. Side effects, unconscious blood type personality. I think that's a good one for you to get. We're going to talk about it more on Saturday, but I know it's going to be a blessing for you to think about these wounds from her womb. You got to recognize what's causing you to stay there, what's causing you to feel jealous, what's causing you to be a very perfectionist or somebody to have OCD, got to have everything right and everything right in place all the time and want to control everything. It came from the womb. I won't get into it too much more now, but I got to go. I pray that you'll use this message and share it with somebody. If anything I've said here today that really make you think about, yes, that's me. I love my mama, but I can't stand her way. Yeah, this is why I don't want to do this and I don't want to be married. I don't. You got to be there on Saturday, 7 o'clock a.m. Central Time, 281-671-4577. We got to talk more about this because too many relationships are getting together that is not from God. This is something that you chose to do. You know that you self-reject. You know you have a tendency of rejecting yourself and allowing yourself to reject other people because you haven't been noticed. You're desperate for love and you don't know the difference between love and intimacy. My God, I know I am talking. Somebody got to see it. I hope that you get a chance to share this message with somebody. Oh my God, help us today. This situation has got to get in control because it has gotten way out of control. There's a lot of things that we got to talk about because I know that it's wounds from a womb. I'll talk about it Saturday. God bless you. Please share the message.